The Aburi Accord remains a symbol of the challenges and complexities inherent in conflict resolution, highlighting the importance of genuine dialogue, compromise, and trust building in achieving lasting peace. According to Max Hewlin, in the book Oil Politics and Violence, the Aburi meeting of January 1967 evolved into perhaps the best documented constitutional debate of all time because it discussed fundamental concepts regarding the balance of power between the central and regional government in a federation. Why did Gowon renege on the agreement he signed with Ojukwu in Aburi? After returning to Nigeria, General Gowon, who was the head of state, called a press conference. Let's go back to the past.
The purpose of this press conference is to enlighten the public on the last Accra meeting of military leaders and to tell the nation where we go from here. Our main concern at the Aburi meeting was how to keep the country together and restore normal conditions. We reviewed the situation in the Nigerian army, and we all agreed that there should be one Nigerian army under a unified command as at present. We recognize that in the context of the events of 1966, the most practical way of achieving this aim is to organize the army into area commands. We did not go to Aburi to write a new constitution for Nigeria. The constitution of Nigeria will be written in Nigeria by Nigerians on the authority of the people of Nigeria. We, however, agreed to return to the status quo ante January 17, 1966. And this is in keeping with my earlier public pronouncements that decrees or parts of decrees which tended towards over-centralization should be repealed. We will continue to operate the existing federal constitution and the federal system of government until a new constitution is drawn up. In Aburi, we made an excellent start in the bid for permanent peace, but let us not deceive ourselves that it was possible to solve all Nigeria's problems in the two-day meeting of minds of Nigeria's military leaders. I did say immediately after that conference that Nigeria will definitely remain united. I would never have said so if we went there to fall apart. Nigeria will remain one indivisible country by the will of the people of this country.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
That was a strong statement from the head of state, Yakubu Gowon. That was a press conference in 1967 after he returned from Aburi. What has Ojukwu got to say about what happened in Aburi? Let's reflect on it.
State Affairs.
So, Ojukwu has his own reaction to what happened in Aburi. He explained how the discussion went, and he did not understand why the federal government of Nigeria had to renege. So we can listen to that now.
At Aburi, yes, we agreed on area commands for the armed forces. At Aburi, we agreed that the police force would be decentralized. We agreed on those. Yes. we agreed, even to show that we didn't separate, at Aburi we also agreed on certain revenue formula. That's what happened at Aburi. Aburi again, because I always end up, it sounds odd today, but I always end up by saying I must have been naive, because I believed actually that would be the end. I'll confess to you, when I got back to Enugu, oh yes, I had a party, believing that probably the danger was over. That's what we thought. Until they then began to deny everything. It was the denial of Nigeria that made me publish the tapes of Aburi, because we had insisted that each one should have a set of tapes. Everybody talks about confederation. Go and look at the transcript. There is no time that the word confederation came from my lips.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Okay. I will take you into the details of the accord. But before we get to the details, it is good we lay a solid background so that we are not missing some point. Because Aburi did not just come from nowhere. There were many issues that led to Aburi. In the last edition of the program on Monday, I explained some. I will explain other issues. It will give us a broader understanding of what happened before Ojukwu and Gowon found themselves in Aburi, Ghana. Remember, you can call in this time to join the discourse. The number is 080-309-18449. So you can call that number 080-309-18449 to join the discourse. How did we get to Aburi? Look at this. The Trouble with Nigeria. Have you seen that book? The Trouble with Nigeria by Chinua Achebe. Oh, I'm not with a copy here. A good book. You'll find that book on udarabooks.com. So I took that title from Achebe's work. Look at this aspect of some of the issues. The problems of Nigeria's federalism was worsened by the incursion of the military into politics in January 1966, following the overthrow of the democratic government of Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa. Balewa, the premiers of Northern and Western region, top politicians and military officers were killed in the January coup, carried out by mostly Igbo officers and aborted by an Igbo officer in the persons of Aguyi Ironsi and Emeka Ojukwu. Get that point. The January coup was carried out by mostly Igbo officers, and it took senior Igbo officers to counter the coup. They aborted the coup. Nzogu and Co did not succeed. Ojukwu and the Ironsi aborted that coup, and Ironsi became the head of state. The conflict of the coup threw up the head of the army, General Aguyi Ironsi, an Igbo man, as Nigeria's first military head of state. Where did he go wrong? After Ironsi took over, he fell out with Ojukwu. They were having strong times because Ojukwu felt he was going the wrong way. In fact, if the counter coup of July had not happened, perhaps Ironsi would have removed Ojukwu as the governor of the Eastern region. Remember, it was Ironsi that appointed Ojukwu as the governor of the Eastern region. So both men were already having serious quarrels. Ojukwu felt Ironsi was derailing. So he was taking him up seriously. They were already fighting. By the time I come to the story of Victor Banjo, I'll be bringing the daughter of Victor Banjo into the studio soon. And on Monday, I also explained the point that the moment, because some are already writing me, why is the program dominated by Yoruba voices? That where are the Igbo voices? The point is that this studio is in Ibadan, and I'm surrounded by mostly Yoruba scholars. I have spoken to many Igbo scholars. The problem is getting them into the studio. Most of them are in the East. Some are in Lagos though. But with time, we'll have to go and meet them. But that is, the cost of production will rise. Because I'll be now moving with a team of say 6 persons. Imagine what it means to fly from here to Owerri for an interview. So the cost of production will rise. But we are looking at it. We'll see what we will do. I want to interview Chuks Ilegbunam, the author of the book Ironsi. We've been talking. In January, he told me he was in Lagos. That what do we do? And at that time, I was outside the country. But I hope to bring Chuks Ilegbunam to the studio. It will be a happy moment for me. Because that book Ironsi is one of the best books you can read on Nigerian history. And it has a lot to explain. So soon you begin to also see some Igbo scholars. But at the moment, we are also having objective conversations. I also don't want to see my program as an Igbo Yoruba thing. Because I'm reading the comments on TikTok. I can see the dirty fight going on there. And sometimes I cringe. What's going on? What's wrong with Nigerians? The issue is not Igbo Yoruba. You are miscalculating. The basic issue is the political elite and the structural defects of the Nigerian state. Don't allow anybody to tell you it's Igbo Yoruba thing. Now, the Yoruba nation is such a civilized nation. The Igbo nation is such a civilized nation. So when I see some Igbo persons and Yoruba persons at the fringes throwing brick bats, taking on themselves, using dirty words, I say, man, they are lost. It is more than that. Don't join that kind of debate. Yes, sometimes it is tempting to join it. But solving the Nigerian question requires deeper introspection. And it cannot be done on the basis of brickbats.